Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for another edition of YBMcast. And today on Perspective. Ooh. That was deep, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
You're chipper.
I feel good.
That's awesome.
Sun shining, you know. It's all
starting
good,
to warm
baby.
up.
Yeah. We've been having fun traveling around, talking to folks, you know. It's been a lot of fun. We're talking today. We've been talking hitting instruction. There's so much going on out there. But first, I want to say we are powered by Game7Baseball.com. Baseball in the Lou, and in Kentucky, and in Tennessee, and in Illinois, Southern Missouri. It's great. Game 7 Baseball does a great job. Go to Game7Baseball.com. Get your team registered. Plenty of tournaments, a lot of stuff going on. Hey, and don't forget, if you're a 13U team, June 18th, 19th, come. Elite Championship, we got some good squads in there. I saw the Midwest Mafias coming down with their 13U squad. I love that.
Yeah.
Got Gators, Naturals, Eureka Eagles are coming. So we got some good squads in there. So I think we're starting to shape up. I'm looking forward to getting some more in there. So if you got a 13U squad, you got a date, 18th, 19th. Championship game's going to be broadcast live. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it was exciting. I kind of was trying to pay attention to that, and I saw the list kind of growing, you know. So I'm excited to watch that and hopefully kind of be a part of that, sitting out there, maybe getting the chance to watch. We play that weekend. My 14U team plays that weekend, but I hope that I'm playing at the times that your championship games are playing. But I want to get over there and see what you guys are doing, because that little roster looks like it's going to be a competitive tournament.
Yeah, we're going to have some fun. We're going to be out at some related tournaments. We got some great things coming up with Shane Eames and his premier hitting development going to be out with us a few times talking baseball. We're going to have a lot of fun this summer out at Game 7 baseball tournaments. So make sure you register your team. Looking forward to it. Dave and Dave, keep it up, guys. You're doing a great job. All right. You know, and that comes back to, I thought it was interesting conversation we had. We're going to have some stuff this week from Premier Hitting Development. We were down there with Shane and working with Braxton Martinez. It was good information, wasn't it?
I had a blast, you know, going down there just to be able to ask questions and just in general. I mean, I was trying to look at this as a hitting coach. I'm trying to ask questions maybe that parents would ask or be inquisitive about. So I had fun just asking those questions and learning myself, because, you know, we always are trying to find ways to work with our athletes and then to get them to identify what we're saying.
And I think it's interesting too, because Shane is talking about the evolution of hitting and how it's being how we're training now, how it's you know, there's always change to things and different ideas and whatnot, but being able to implement them and people going, oh no, that's crazy and stuff. So tune in and watch. That's coming up this week. We're starting off. We're going to have it in segments because there's a lot of information. So you don't want to overload your brain all at once. But it's some great information. Well, I think we're going to have that one up posted tomorrow. Great stuff there, and we'll continue that. Then we got a chance to, and I love the fact that, you know, Braxton Martinez there. He's in the AA. He's with the AA affiliate of the Angels. Then we got a chance to sit down with Chase Krogman, Justin Dearden, White Sox organization, Astros organization. Those guys are talking hitting. And some of the things that they're seeing in the development of hitting, especially at the professional level, that always kind of filters down, doesn't it?
It does, and again, going back to having that conversation with Braxton, you know, last week, and then having Chase and Justin on, it's similar, and even their messages on what they perceive as their hitting growth is through whether it's data or just keeping things simple. Like, that's pretty common, right?
Right.
They're saying the same things, you know, and so it's exciting to see that, because that's what we're trying to, you know, get down to, that 12, 13U level when these kids start to develop and change, is how to keep it simple. And so it's fun to hear them. So definitely tune in to those next few podcasts, because they are really fun, and there's a lot of information. Plus, they're young.
Yeah.
And so, these young kids can relate because, Chase is only
21.
Yeah, he turns 21 in a week and a half, right? So, I mean, they're very close to that 14.
Yeah.
It's not too far removed. So,
and I thought it was good conversation. I liked what Jake Depew, there was a lot of similarities in what Jake was talking about from over there at the Virtual Hit Lab, and Jake was interesting because, again, where he was as a hitter coming up through high school and college, now he's looking at those different aspects and bringing that into the space as well, right?
Absolutely. Jake, I really had fun with, and we've done obviously, Shane and Charlie over there with the Bandits and Jake. It's been a blast to have those guys on. One, I learn, right?
Yeah.
And as a hitting coach, it's fun to see just kind of where everybody stands. And then really we're all on the same page.
Right.
So it's fun to notice that like your message is kind of in a little bit of everywhere. It's just how that message gets, presented.
And there you go. And that's what we've talked about. Because when we were talking with Charlie Kelting from Midland, he's talking about working with professional hitters and whatnot and what he's gleaning, information that comes down. Because I think that's important for us. And you're seeing a lot of similarities in instruction. And then it gives the parents an opportunity to then find somebody they can relate to. I think that's huge. I think finding the instructor that your child relates to, that your player relates to. I think that is so important. As you've said, and you're honest with it, I'm not for everybody.
I am not.
And you know what? I think that's an honest assessment, and people can do that. And if you're not offended if somebody goes, no, you're not for me.
Not at all. And because again, the whole thing for me is, what am I doing for my athletes? You know what I mean? And if I have to change who I am and how I teach and how my approach is, am I doing justice for that athlete?
Right.
Because I believe in being mentally tough. And I do believe in sometimes you need to be broken down a little bit.
Right.
And sometimes that takes a lot of courage to be broken down. But I also want to build that athlete.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's not that I'm breaking him down to lose confidence.
Exactly.
I want that athlete to say, failure, again, some of the conversation we had the other day, failure leads to success, because if we were always successful, what would we work for?
And you are going to fail in baseball. You are going to fail as a hitter in that respect. We know that. I mean, a Hall of Fame player is failing 70% of the time if you're consistent through your career, right?
Absolutely.
And some of those guys, it's more than that because they've hit bombs.
I always go back to Shane had talked about this. I think it was Shane that we had talked about on the podcast when he read that book, The Science of Hitting by Ted Williams.
Yeah.
And in that book, he talks about a 286 hitter back in the 80s, or when that book was written. I think it was written in 86 or something like that. And being a 286 at the time, you were $1 million athlete.
Right.
Hitting that's 28.6, right? If you think about
the
percentage.
That's
and
correct.
So I'm thinking about these numbers, and here we are, and we're youth, and we're chasing these. I want to be a 500 hitter. I want you to be realistic.
Right.
You don't hit 500 in the GACs. If you hit 500 in the GACs, you are taking advantage of poor pitching or something, or you're just that kind of special. But that's again, that kid's going to be different.
Because you see some elite pitching in the GAC.
Yeah, and then you have elite hitting here, you know, and you have elite defenders. But at the end of the day, like every school has a guy who can throw, or pitch.
So what are you doing?
You better take advantage of relief.
Justin, throw that comment deal below. We want the comments from this. I mean, this is interesting conversation. What are your thoughts on that? And we're still working to get Tyler Mischel from Elite Hitting over down with the recruits on the show, talking with him, because we want to get as much information, talking to different people as possible, because that's what we're about. I'm not here to say this is what's right and that's no, they're wrong. And that's not the point. Here's the information. Here's what people are saying. Take it for what you got, man. That's what we're about.
Yeah.
And because there's a lot of good dudes out there. And the one thing that I think is very interesting is we say this is all of these guys are working to help their athletes get better.
I don't think anybody goes into this to solely just say, I want to make a whole bunch of money, and that's it. Our goal is always going to, and sometimes it may come off this way But at the end of the day, we are trying to make whatever level you are as a hitter, as a player, we are trying to make you just one step better.
Yeah.
You know, each and every time. And you never really achieve 100% if we're always chasing 1% per day. You know, if we're trying to get 1% better each day, we're always chasing 100%. We'll never get there. And so for me, that's what it's about. I want to make my athletes mentally tougher, stronger, whether it's through pushing weights or pushing through strength and conditioning or running, or
pushing through adversity.
Something,
right?
It's something we always have to deal with something as we get older, whether it's illnesses or, COVID has hit us real bad, or, parents, grandparents passing away, family members. Adversity happens in so many various ways.
Yeah.
And how do we deal with it? And I believe that baseball, out of almost all the sports, is one that can set yourself up for success down the road, because as you become an adult, we tend to fail. And how do you deal with failure as you become an adult? How do you deal with a lost job, a family member, stuff like that? And because baseball, we fail so much. So,
and that's perspective, right? That's perspective.
I feel like it is. I feel like it is.
That's the point. That is a perspective. And stay tuned here. We're going to finish up this segment and then we're going to another one. We're going to talk baseball movies. We're going to have a little fun here. So hang with us. We're going to get your comments. Hey, here's another one. Throw that comment. If you throw it in the bottom there, put your comment in there. Tell us what your top 5 movies are, right?
Let's go.
Your top 5 baseball movies of all time. And we're going to come back to that. And we're going to talk a little baseball movies after this, because I think it's interesting as you say that all the guys we've talked to, whether it be the instructors that have played college from Jake and the guys that are with Braxton, with Chase and Justin here recently, the next step, the adversity and how it's changed their mentality of, from playing youth baseball to high school baseball to being either a professional or a college player, the difference in thinking. And you're talking about that perspective that says, I'm facing adversity. I mean, that was one of the things that this is the first time I'm not around mom and dad. I'm on my own. I'm there. This big thing these guys are saying, perform.
Yeah. Yesterday's show has got a lot of that.
Right?
We're having that conversation with Justin and Chase because they're still dealing with it because they're trying to make it through the ranks. And Braxton touched on that a little bit last week. So I hope that you tune in for
those are coming up. We'll keep you guys posted. It's all coming up because it's real, isn't it?
And we just think like the pressure's on the 13s and 14s to be the best high school kid. It's like, no, that pressure never stops.
Right.
And so you have to be a special kind of person to want to be a high school competitor to the varsity level, because I guess that's when it matters the most. And then to play college and then to try to advance from there, and they talk about the dedication to the sport and what it takes away from him and stuff like that, what it takes away from just in life in general.
Yeah.
So it's pretty exciting. I hope everybody tunes in.
And here's the thing, because you're dealing with when you walk into that as a young man, you're seeing guys that are being paid at a high level for a job. And their job is to make sure you develop and move forward. And if not enough of those people are coming through the organization like that, whether it be college or the pros, they're out of a job.
Yes. And
that's where it really that's perspective. That's real.
And I don't know if you've seen the recent news with the MLB and some of the things that they're doing, but I would tune into, Twitter, Bleacher Report, or whoever you follow out there to see kind of what Major League Baseball is talking about with some of the changes that are going on to what they want to do to minor league baseball, which can make it that much more difficult for minor league baseball players making it through the ranks. I mean, they're talking about eliminating playing jobs. And so does that mean low A ball, high A ball?
Right.
Does that mean you have just 1A level, versus 2 or short seasons?
Those are real conversations.
Well, that takes a lot of guys away that are borderline athletes that need to see growth. How does that impact a guy like Chase or a guy like Justin?
And does that help the independent leagues?
It could, because the independent league would grow, and you would think that it would, there would be a new league somewhere.
And I think that's a possibility.
But it could grow elsewhere. Like the Pecos League could get a little bit better, you know, if that thing's still around. I'm not sure if that's around, but I felt like it was adult baseball. No offense to anybody that played in the Pecos League, because you get a job to do and you get make money. But how does that work for the Frontier League?
Yeah.
The Frontier League is a great Midwest league, and does it help? And I'm not saying that's what we should be thinking about, but at the end of the day, it's like there's so much pressure.
Yeah.
And even at the high, it just doesn't stop. No. It doesn't stop from the car rides home, from your coaches at 13, you know, whatever. But your 10-year-old's not a D1 player.
Exactly.
You know, it's not a professional athlete.
Perspective. Stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We're looking forward to these conversations. So make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Comment below. Comments always help our algorithms. That's the best thing. Like and subscribe, please. Or, you know, like, subscribe, but leave us a comment. Tell us what you think of what we're talking about here. We appreciate it, because we're going to have some fun right now. We got some great stuff coming up. Remember, we got more hitting talk coming up. Stay tuned. We're going to be talking more with Shane a lot. I think that's going to be a great amount of fun that way. But we're going to talk some baseball movies, and we're going to get Justin in here on this conversation too. Anyway, bro.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. Can I add to your comment piece there?
Yeah.
I would love for our people who watch the show to comment on some people that they hit with. You know,
that'd be great.
Because obviously, you know, there's many batting cages around
Yes.
that are smaller than some of these larger organizations that may not have a development type program. I would love to sit down and hear somebody from a DTJ, you know, that's over there in St. Charles or somewhere down in St. Louis that we're not aware of. I would love to have that. So comment down below, see what's out there so we can bring them on.
Big shout out. I love that. That's awesome. Good stuff, bro.
I want to learn.
Yeah.
It helps me. It helps my kids.
All right,
stealing
Justin.
your stuff.
No, you're not stealing nothing, bro. Bring it on.
No, other people's ideas.
Oh.
There's nothing new anymore, is there?
I don't know.
I don't either. You should watch it, like the
Now,
Japanese hitters.
We're going to talk. We caught Jake DePue's top 5, and I know it's been a minute since we talked to him, so I don't have them fresh in my brain. I got to go back and write them down. So we have these, and we're going to start putting them on the website, because I'm looking at IMdB, which is that movie place that they do, and they've got their top 25 list. And Justin, what do you got over there, bro?
It's the top 10 grossing, or the top 20 grossing baseball movies of all time.
So what made the most money?
Yes.
Right. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how these, with grossing, top grossing movies and what their top 25, because this isn't about grossing. This is just a list of top movies. Number 1 over here, though, is Field of Dreams. What's the top grossing movie over there, son?
It is A League of Their Own. It's the only movie to have reached $100 million grossing.
Whoa! I didn't even know that. I was expecting way more than that. He just threw that $100 million. I figured it's the only one that's touched that. I didn't know that.
That's impressive.
Yeah, but I'm shocked too.
Why?
Because I mean, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you would have thought that, at the time, baseball, it's still America's pastime then.
Right.
And I feel like, the major leagues or Bull Durham or even Field of Dreams would have.
But I think baseball had kind of a black eye back then, a little bit with the strike stuff and all that through the mid 80s and coming up. 92 was A League of Their Own, 1992. And on the IMdB list, A League of Their Own is number 2. Top movies. And it's the top grossing movie, and they've got numbers. And it's 1992, which was at the peak of the Mark McGwire booming, right?
Yeah. Yep.
St. Louis, he's hitting home runs. That kind of coincides with that, doesn't it?
And Field of Dreams is until number 5 in grossing movies, where it's number 1 over there.
There you go.
Interesting.
What's number 2 over there?
42.
42 is the
Jackie
second.
Robinson story.
Wow, that's awesome. So it's the second highest grossing. That makes sense, especially as that's a little more up to date.
Yeah.
And that
it's
story.
It's a fantastic movie.
It is. I love that movie. 42 is a really good movie.
You cannot watch that movie and you have got to have a little thick skin if you watch that movie, because there's some things that are, it is.
But it's just real. That's reality.
It does. It's very real, but there is some wow factors in that movie. And holy smokes, I'm not sure how the actors pulled that off. And if you really dig deep into that movie, man, it's
tough.
It is.
And you know what's interesting about 42 is you think about the actor Chadwick Boseman. He was suffering from cancer.
Yep.
Because he'd had cancer for a long time, was dealing with that. I mean, you think about that guy, that man there, because he was making a lot of these movies. He was the Black Panther. He did 42. He was dealing with cancer that whole time. I mean, and I never knew it. He never told anybody, right?
Yeah, and 42 came out before Black Panther, I'm pretty sure.
Did it?
Yeah.
I think it was. But still, I mean, I think it was right in that same time frame. So I'm not sure, but that's pretty impressive. I like Chadwick Boseman. Sorry to see him, go that way. That was tragic. Here, the number 3 movie, Moneyball.
Same here.
That's the third grossing?
Third highest grossing is Moneyball.
So it's number 3 here. So that kind of fits within that. And, that doesn't surprise me. It's more modern. It's today.
It's Brad Pitt. Come on.
It was a good movie,
that's
though.
like, you know what? I think I've watched it maybe 1.5 times. I didn't get into Moneyball.
Really?
And I'm not sure.
Adapt or die.
Well, I'm a huge comedy guy. And so, it wasn't.
A little too serious?
Yeah. It didn't wow me.
Yeah.
To be at that 3 spot. I mean, I'm not even sure if I got that in my top 10 movies. At baseball movies.
I would agree with that.
Shocked that it's number 3. I was shocked that it was number 3 there. But again, I think what you're seeing in these are the actors.
Yeah.
There are some stars in these movies.
Yeah.
And that may push it. Budgets, things like that.
Number 4.
I mean, although you're talking about
ahead.
actors, but Kevin Costner hasn't been brought up yet.
I know. Well, Field of Dreams, but he's not in the top grossing. But Field of Dreams was number 1 on here, so it's Kevin Costner. Field of Dreams.
But over here, I'm saying for money-wise,
right? Isn't that amazing? You would think it would, but Field of Dreams is 1980s, right?
1990.
1989.
Oh, okay. So,
1989, and then of course another 89. Number 4 on the list over here, Major League.
Major League was produced in 1989.
1989. It came out in 1989. What about over there?
No way my parents let me watch that when I was 9 years old.
Major League does not come up on this list till number 10.
Number 10. Top grossing movie was of all time of baseball movies is number 10, Major League. But it's number 4 here, and who doesn't love Major League? It's hilarious.
Major League's probably in my top 5.
I would say it's in my top 5 as well.
Yeah, it's at number 5, I think, for me.
I just think it's because it's the fun of the movies. You probably, somebody has played with a bunch of those kinds of guys.
Yeah.
You've always had that pitcher that's on out in left field, kind of, the way Vaughn was in the movie, and the serious old man catcher, and then Major League 2 was fun because you had Rube and whatever his name was, and that was.
It wasn't as good though. It wasn't as
nowhere
good.
near, nowhere near. But
because was it Bronson or whatever, the actor, the third base guy? He was a weenie. I couldn't
Dorn.
deal with Roger Dorn. Couldn't deal with that character in number 2. It was just too bad. So that kind of ruined it for me. What did you finish out the top 5 there, son?
So the top 5, I'll name them in order here.
Okay.
It's number 1's A League of Their Own, 242. Number 3 is Moneyball. Number 4 is The Rookie, and number 5 is Field of Dreams.
Number 5 is Field of Dreams. So it's in the top 5. And The Rookie, that's the Disney one though, right?
I don't know if The Rookie was Disney or not.
Yeah, it was Disney.
It is about the pitcher who
with Dennis Quaid.
Later on, found out he threw
which is a good
96.
movie.
Yeah.
That's just a feel-good movie,
Yeah.
That's what gets me. If you want to talk about the movies that really drive me or really get attached to or emotional, is movies like The Rookie, the feel good stories. The Remember the Titans. I know it's a football movie, but Rudy. Those feel good stories.
The bench warmers.
Coach Carter.
Bench warmers.
I'm not sure. I'm not. I didn't
He
even
threw that out.
I didn't even. I wasn't even sure the bench warmers when we talked about that earlier. I didn't even realize it was a baseball movie.
It is a baseball movie.
And I'm okay with Dennis Spade.
It's a baseball-like movie.
Sure.
Okay. You know what's interesting here, though?
The Bad News Bears would have beat them.
Number 7 on this list from IMdB is Bull Durham. It's number 7. I would say that ventures into the top 5 of most people's lists.
Yeah, most people would mention Bull Durham whenever you ask them best baseball movies of all time.
You know, here's 2 I'm going to mention in this. Number 5 on the top 25 from IMdB is 8 Men Out. How many people know that movie? Have you ever seen 8 Men Out? It's a great movie.
I've seen it, but it's not even in the top 20 of grossing movies of all time.
It's not. It's just one of those that sits outside. Great cast.
Is it the 8 Men Out about the Yankees?
No, it's about the White Sox, the Black Sox of 1919 and how they threw the World Series.
The shoeless Joe Jackson stuff.
Yes. D.B. Sweeney. You had Charlie Sheen. Oh, gosh. There's.
I may have never seen the movie.
You've not seen 8 Men Out?
Nope.
It's a good. If you haven't seen 8 Men Out, go watch it. It's a good movie. And then you know what's it's funny here. Number 8. Here's another one most people wouldn't think about. Tom Selleck, Mr. Baseball.
Oh man,
Love it. I mean, Mr. Baseball is a great movie.
I think
it's definitely not my top 5. Mr. 3000.
No,
you have like
Mr. 3000.
Those were fun movies, but they definitely were not in my top. It might not be in my top 10.
IMdB rounds out with The Sandlot and The Rookie. And then
Now, the Sandlot is on the top 20, but it's number 18.
Yeah, but it should. I think The Sandlot should be higher, personally. I think it should be higher than Mr. Baseball.
Agreed.
And then number 11 is For Love of the Game. And I'm telling you, For Love of the Game is probably top 3 for me. I love that.
Is it because of the drama or the dramatics of it?
I just think the story is so gripping. And who doesn't love Vin Scully calling that game?
That's because you're a Dodgers fan.
No, dude, it's Vin Scully. Come on, man.
Whether you're a Dodgers fan or not, you like Vin Scully.
I mean, it's Vin Scully, dude.
I'm not going to hate on Vin Scully. I do love Vin Scully, but I have Jack Buck.
I understand. I love Jack Buck. I do.
And I'd have felt the same way if it was Jack Buck calling the game.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, but that's Vin Scully.
Yeah, I mean, it is Vin Scully. There's a few announcers that you just think about, the Marv Levy's, Vin Scully's, like they're just iconic. He is definitely.
Right?
But I thought it was just because you guys were Dodgers fans.
You know, it's funny you mentioned
part of it.
It's funny, Mitch, you mentioned the Bad News Bears because that is in the top 20 grossing baseball movies of all time.
The Bad News Bears? The original one?
No, the remake.
The remake.
With Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah.
It is actually above The Sandlot in grossing movies.
Wow.
Just one above and it only beat it by $400,000.
So is this gross like up to current, or is this just when it was in the theaters?
That is a good question. I believe it is up to current day, but this article was in 2021.
Okay. Here's a good movie. If you haven't seen The Pride of the Yankees with Gary Cooper, you should go watch that one. These are some old ones you kids should go watch when you're looking at, movies that way. That's bad. I don't understand the fan. I never did like that movie. I don't know how it's.
Well, do they actually? Is it because I didn't think that was a baseball movie. Obviously I know baseball was in the movie. I thought it was a solid movie though, but I wouldn't have put that. I wouldn't picture that as I was just an obsessive fan.
Make sure comment below. Tell us what you're thinking here. We'd love to have these comments in here. Please let us know what you think about this. Because I think it's here's another one that it's more up to date. I think it's 2012 it came out. Clint Eastwood's Trouble with the Curve.
That's a good movie. I do like that movie.
Yeah.
Story.
Yeah, it's a great storyline.
Story. And again, it's very different.
Because baseball's underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Because Major Leagues, it's it's the fun of the season. That's why I like Major League so much, is because it feels like that's a real season that you go through. Just the different types of players. I didn't see the Natural on there.
Oh, the Natural's here. It's way back up there. I should have brought that up. I'm sorry. The Natural is number 6.
Yeah, and
on
I was
this
going to say,
list.
because The Natural's number 11 on this list as
Grossing?
well. Yeah, grossing.
I would be interested. I bet everybody's top 5 has got to be pretty close.
I mean, I watch The Natural. If it's on or something, I'm looking at it, I'll watch it. It's a good movie. It's just good.
You know what's actually right after The Natural?
I should have been a farmer, Red.
What's right after The Natural, actually, it kind of doesn't surprise me, because this is probably the one that all the guys took their girlfriends to see. It was Fever Pitch.
Oh yeah, Fever Pitch.
that had wasn't that
Drew
J-Lo?
Barrymore.
Oh,
no,
Drew Barrymore.
And Jimmy Fallon.
And Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, what was I thought that Ben Affleck was in a baseball movie, or was it just a scene in a movie? The one that was it was I believe they.
Nobody cares about those two people.
Well, that may be true. Was it actually Drew Barrymore and Jimmy Fallon that was staged here in St. Louis?
I have no idea.
Was that there was somebody watching games? I don't know. I thought it was. I don't know. I'll have to look this up. If you know, shoot a comment. Tell me how wrong I am right now, because I thought it was Ben Affleck and J-Lo, but he's a big Boston fan.
Yes.
And I thought maybe it was the same time frame as the World Series. But I'm not sure.
Here's what I'm going to throw out here. It's number 23 on this. It's from 1994. Tommy Lee Jones, Cobb. It's about Ty Cobb. If you haven't seen that movie, you should go watch it. I haven't seen it in a long time.
No, I can't say I've ever seen that movie.
Cobb. It's a good movie.
It's an interesting character to play it. I wouldn't have, pictured Tommy Lee Jones to do that.
Because one of the best lines, and it's true, he did this. He's up in years, and they said, and they're interviewing him and they're talking, and a reporter asks Ty. He says, "Mr. Cobb, if you were playing baseball today, what would you be hitting?" He said, 270, 275, something like that. The guy says, "Well, you're a lifetime, 300 and some hitter, something like that." And he says, "Well, heck, son, I'm 72 years old." He was talking about right there.
Yeah, I tell you, there's some. Ty Cobb was an interesting dude.
Man. Yeah.
The way he slid, the way he just played the game. When I can remember my grandpa would talk about Ty Cobb and how just how he played the game and how aggressive he was as an athlete. But I always find those little comments funny, because somebody said something to Michael Jordan. You talking about ultimate competitors, and Michael Jordan said something about with Michael Jordan's Bulls team. How much would they beat the LeBron James Lakers teams by? And he's like, maybe 5-6 points or whatever it was. And he's like, really, only that much? He's like, yeah, most of us are 50 something years old, and it just you have to appreciate the ultimate competitor and their thought process and what they're thinking. I love it.
Fever Pitch is number 25 on here, by the way. Angels in the Outfield is number 24.
Well, Angels in the Outfield is actually, let me see where it was. It's number 9 in the highest grossing movies of all time.
So it did well. See? Oh,
I want to. Isn't the angel in that movie the guy from Back to the Future?
Christopher Lloyd.
Right?
It is.
I believe so. Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd. Yeah.
Maybe
he played Doc
why.
Brown. Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody loved Back to the Future, so got to check this out.
It's an okay movie. They got The Babe in here with John Goodman. That's 22. You got The Rookie of the Year, number 20. That was one of Jake's top 5 movies. Rookie of the Year. You guys both like that movie, right?
Yeah, good movie.
Rowan Gardner.
The original Jackie Robinson story's here at 19, and that's Jackie Robinson played himself in that movie. So if you get a chance to go watch that, go watch that. Of course, Pride of the Yankees. I always like Damn Yankees too, because that's not in here because of that was Abbott and Costello did their routine in that movie. That's great. 61's in here at number 16.
If you haven't watched that movie, that's a pretty recent movie.
Yes.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Right?
61.
Yeah. You should definitely go watch that, because that was really interesting to watch.
I like that movie a lot.
I have to ask, because I brought this up on that episode with Jake. Where is Hero?
Hero?
The movie Hero. I think it was called Hero.
Oh, dude.
No.
Big Hero.
No.
Was it a Big Hero? What is it?
No.
It's a baseball movie. It is a cartoon with Babe Ruth's bat. You guys got to remember this. You got to go back and watch.
We'll find the link somewhere.
I think actually Jake had said what the name of the movie was. You did. Justin did.
Justin's
got
looking it up. He's looking at. That's what we do around
It is,
here.
and if you have young kids,
It's everyone's hero.
everyone's hero.
Everyone's
That's right.
hero.
And it's a cartoon.
Yeah.
And it's Babe Ruth's bat, and it's against the Cardinals in the World Series. So if you're a St. Louis fan or whatever, and you want to go back through it, and yeah, the Yankees obviously beat the Cardinals because of this bat found its way home into Babe Ruth's hands. But the bat is a female's name. I don't remember the bat's name, but it was shockingly good. It was like a $5 Walmart movie, in the little bin at Walmart, and I was like, oh, it's got baseball bats about Babe Ruth. I'll take it out. I got kids, so. They'll entertain them.
You're over there crying.
And I'm not crying. It's not that kind of movie.
I'm kidding.
No, I am very, very sensitive when it comes to the underdog movie. I'm telling you, that's why I love Rudy.
I'll be over there bawling my eyes out.
I do. I actually, some of my friends make fun of me because I get all teary-eyed, like when military guys come home and they are the umpire, they take the mask off. That stuff's awesome.
I love the movie A League of Their Own. I think it's a great movie.
Well, it's probably one of the most quoted lines.
Yes. There's no crying in baseball. Sir, she's crying. But I can't help it. I don't like the ending where the person that's just sad, I didn't
whiny.
I understand it takes courage, and I understand the position of the little sister trying to get, her recognition. I get all those things, but I just did. Man, I'm not that guy.
And I think
you're going to ruffle some feathers.
Yeah,
and I don't think that properly represents sibling rivalries.
Right?
Most sibling rivalries, you want to kick the crap out of your sibling if you're playing with them. Just saying, that's true.
We just said that out loud, didn't we?
Yeah, well, because I just met your daughter yesterday, and so I want to know how this goes.
Oh, Justin. They don't fight.
Well, do they?
Not really.
They're nice to each other. I do have a half sister. She lives in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So we don't have that little. Plus, we're several years apart, but I don't have that. So but thinking about how competitive some of my friends that have brothers that are real close in the same age, or we played varsity baseball together. I just think about how competitive they were, and there is no way either one of them would give an inch in that moment if they had to play against each other.
It's the truth, isn't it? I shouldn't have brought that up.
No, it's a movie. But it's just a movie.
It is. It's a movie. Just thoughts. Natural, Bull Durham, Mr. Baseball, Sandlot. It's good stuff.
You brought up Ty Cobb, and it brought me to this. And I'm curious because this has nothing to do with baseball movies, but baseball history in general. Yeah. I was going to ask you guys because I looked it up. The highest. The most valuable baseball cards of all time. Because I was curious if Ty Cobb was up there.
I think it's Honus Wagner.
It is.
So Honus Wagner does have the most.
T203, right? Isn't that the card?
No.
T206?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why I said T203.
Because T206 of Ty Cobb is number 5.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's one other person that has a more valuable baseball card than Babe Ruth. And would you guys know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
One currently?
No.
All time?
All time.
I would.
My guess, it's Mike Trout's Superfractor 101 auto that just recently sold.
No.
Wow.
And well, the only one that I knew.
I got to say it's still probably somebody from back in the day.
Well, I thought it was Honus
Wagner is at the top, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
that's isn't that the one that's more?
I said there's 2 baseball cards that are more valuable than Babe Ruth's rookie card.
So one is Honus Wagner.
Yeah. Who's the other person?
Which Honus is number 1?
Yes.
So how much did that card sell for?
$6.6 million.
Okay, so that Superfractor Trout only went for $3-something million. You got to give me some. Oh man!
Wow. All right.
I should know this because.
Then Mike Trout would be more valuable than the Babe Ruth card as well, but not this one.
Right. Let's say
this card sold for $5.2 million.
Wow.
I'm gonna go with
it ain't Barry Bonds, is it?
Mickey Mantle's 52 rookie.
Mickey Mantle 1952 Topps card.
Look at you, bro.
I had to go back. Is that and what is the grade on it? Because I'm assuming it's graded.
I'm not sure if they say the grade on it.
Do they show a picture of the card?
It said I'm not sure.
I wonder if it was Billy Crystal who bought it.
My guess is it's what's his face that is a big business guy that's been big into baseball cards recently.
Well, we don't know when. I mean, but still, look at that: Honus Wagner, Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth.
Well, if anybody out there likes baseball cards, you need to read the story on the Honus Wagner card and why that card specifically is so valuable, because it's a tobacco card.
Right.
And there was a big thing about tobacco cards and Major League Baseball back then, and so it was very frowned. So there's very few of those cards around. I think it's less than a dozen of them, and I think there's only something like 3 that are in known circulation. So something of that nature makes that card just.
The Honus Wagner, they're a significant amount more than 3 in circulation, according to this article. And this article was written in 2020.
Okay.
How many does it say in total?
Yeah, in the Honus Wagner one, and it even says if it's in poor condition, it'll sell for over $1 million.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
Because most people believe he didn't want to involve himself in promoting tobacco use to children, and there are only about 50 to 75 known copies in circulation today.
Gotcha. So it was him that didn't want it, not Major League Baseball. It was him. I knew there was something about that story because I don't have the money to buy that card. No. I actually have a replica of that card, and the replica of the card sells for like $20-$30.
Jeez.
And it's just it's so interesting. And you have like the Nap LaJoys of back then. If you have any cigar cards or gum cards or anything like that your grandpa handed down to you or whatever, do not throw them away just because they don't have tops on them.
Yeah.
Or Bowman.
We got to bring some cards up and just talk baseball cards one of these days, too.
I will be happy to do that. I have a couple valuable cards that sits inside
I got some
of a
cards.
fireproof safe.
I have some baseball cards, but I don't know how valuable.
Some of these are pretty interesting because Babe Ruth has 3 of the most valuable baseball cards.
I got some Shaq rookie cards, Shaquille O'Neal. That's about it.
There's a certain one that has some good value to it. Mm-hmm. The baseball card in today's world. I know that we went from hitting to movies to now baseball cards, but
it's a fun day.
It's such an interesting thing because like baseball, the rookies, the first Bowmans that come out in today's 2019, 2018 from the Acuñas to Luis Roberts, all of these guys, Tatis and all of them, they go for an arm and leg. Now you have Wander Francos. And so you're getting these guys who are the Jason Dominguez of the world, right? These guys haven't touched the field, and they sell for just crazy prices. And then you get a rookie that comes in, and it's his first Bowman, which is the first baseball card, and then he gets his prospect card, then his rookie card, and that rookie card sells for a quarter of that first Bowman card, which I can understand. It's his first baseball card. But then let's say he has an average year, but he hits like 20 bombs and 280 and 20 stolen bases. The market says he's terrible because he was projected to have 30 home runs. And then let's say the next year he goes out and hits 30 home runs and 30 homers, everything goes up 4 times. It's just like, if you have the ability to hold in the lean times, you can make some things happen. You should see how much Yachty is going for right now.
Really?
Especially in the St. Louis market. His cards.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. 3 years ago, you could have bought rookie cards for $10. They sell for $50, $60.
I took the kids to the Johnny Max that was over on Mexico Road, the original Johnny Max on Mexico in St.
Now
Peter's.
in Dollar General.
Yeah. Across from Dollar General. It was like 04 or 05.
Yeah. I still have both those autographs.
From him?
Yep.
From him.
That's his rookie. 04 is his rookie.
I know. And I can't remember if it was 04 or 05.
One of the two.
It was one of the two.
Either one.
He was there at that Johnny Max signing autographs, and I took the kids over to sign autograph. That's been a minute.
Yeah.
I still have both those autographs.
Yeah.
As a fan, you don't want to sell. But if you need some money, they sell, especially since the autograph has changed.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. Like Pujols' autographs changed. Mike Matheny's. Like you have certain autographs that have changed as they
I'm sure
progress.
Yachty's has then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the way he scribbled his autograph early on versus late.
I love that's the way he scribbled it.
Well, that's what we do.
I mean, it's fun. I'm sorry. It was just funny.
Well, I mean,
It's not bad. It's just,
Nope.
I mean, you're signing 800 million autographs. You know, it gets pretty boring.
It does.
I'm gonna have to go home and break those out.
You'll have to send a picture to me, Justin, because I love collecting sports cards. It's in fact like
Well, they're not as cards. It's a
It's an
picture.
autograph.
It's a signed
Well, it doesn't
picture.
matter.
Yeah.
Like memorabilia, that kind of stuff. It just you
Hey,
should see this.
let's
piece
do
I
this
have at
real
home.
quick. Comment below. Tell us what you'd want to see. You know, you want to talk some baseball cards? You want to talk some more movies? You want to talk baseball in different aspects? Shoot us. Let us know. We've been have the conversation.
Yeah, because you never know who out there is a nerd like you are. When I nerd out on my baseball cards,
I have baseball cards and all that stuff. You know,
man, I would
It's
love to
always
just
fun.
sit there and do a little podcast of some baseball cards and some cool fun. You can bring your pictures in and
Absolutely.
we'll show them out there because I got a piece I'm selling that's got a Yachty autograph.
There you go.
Can I plug a sale out here if anybody?
No,
It's a really nice piece that I need to sell.
YouTube's going to kick us off now.
No, they won't. I will be a contributor after that to the show.
There you go. All right, I'm in.
I knew I could get you in there somehow. Money always talks.
Good stuff, bud. Guys, thanks for joining us.
You got me going.
The
baseball card thing's got me going, man.
We'll get there.
Okay.
We're going to do a show about that here real soon. So, hey, thanks for joining us. Remember, hit the subscribe button, comment below. Tell it. We got a lot of stuff out there. We want to see your comments. More stuff to come, more hitting to come from all kinds of guys. We're going to be talking a lot of baseball. So make sure you subscribe and hit that dinger.
Because that's what we do.
Doubles and dingers, baby.
Doubles and dingers.
Double D's.
I really want our fans, I guess, to comment on their coaching.
Absolutely.
And then I want you to
That's
share
great
with your
stuff.
coaches so they can see and they can comment.
So we're starting with commenting on your hitting instructor. Comment. Tell us who's out there, good dudes, whatnot. Top 5 movies. What do you want to see in the upcoming episodes? I love this. We got all kind of stuff going on, bro.
Yeah, we're going to be busy.
Let's do it.
Hopefully we're busy.
So make sure you do. Please do it for us. We love you. Everybody, have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes, and you hitters,
Hitting where they ain't.
good advice. We'll talk to you later.